hand if you'd rather be in your seat right now than up here giving a speech. Exactly, not too many people truly enjoy giving speeches. When I asked my audience if they know what glossophobia is, nobody knew. But the truth is, almost everyone has it, some more paralyzing than others. In fact, according to Marie Baim in her 2011 article titled 6 Facts About Public Speaking Anxiety, found on the Breaking Down Barriers website, she says that 75% of people have glossophobia in some severity. Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking, stemming from the Greek words glossa, which means tongue or language, and phobos, which is the personification of fear in Greek mythology. Now, I'm not a psychologist or an expert on speech by any means, but I've spent a good part of the last 2.5 weeks researching speech anxiety, and today I'd like to share with you why it happens, what it looks like and how it affects people, and the different coping methods. Let's start with why people are afraid to speak in front of groups. Scott Stossel explains in his essay titled My Anxious, Twitchy, Phobic, Somehow Successful Life, adapted from his 2014 book, My Age of Anxiety, Fear, Hope, Dread, and the Search for Peace of Mind. He says that anxiety can be produced by both nature and nurture, meaning that your anxiety can come from your life experiences and the environment you grew up in, or from your DNA and your family history. In an interesting article from 2011 titled, Why We Fear Public Speaking and How to Overcome It, a contributor at Forbes.com named Nick Morgan explains fight or flight, and he says that your body makes this energy in the form of adrenaline, and it uses it in scary times, like giving a speech, or like running from a wild animal. But since we're not running from a wild animal, our energy needs to go somewhere. Now that we have some understanding of what's happening inside our body, let's see what this translates to outside our body and how it affects our careers. As Nick was saying, the energy needs to go somewhere, and oftentimes it goes into negative things, such as rapid speech, happy feet, a stiff neck, a shaky body, stuttering, sweating, little facial expressions, and little to no vocal variety. Now these last two, with the help of Miss Grande and my research, I found that I take my fear of speaking and I put it into hiding my emotions and having no facial expressions or no vocal variety. And that's what I want to work on. According to my audience analysis survey, conducted on March 21st, 2016, everyone I interviewed was interested in knowing how glossophobia can hold someone back in their career. And I'm sure you can already see why. The bad thing about this phobia is that it can slow your career almost to a halt. You can't lead meetings. It's hard to network yourself. You miss out on important conversations. You have poor interviewing skills. And you appear to have low confidence. 14 of the 19 people interviewed in my audience analysis survey rated their interest of learning how to minimize the effects of glossophobia a 10 out of 10. Let's learn how. Murray, in the same article as before, says that speaking anxiety gets worse unless you break it down. But how do you do that? I have a few simple things that can get you on your way. First is to know your topic. The second is deep breathing exercises. This calms you down and gets more oxygen to your brain. Third is to visualize success. If you imagine yourself doing well, you're going to do well. And last is practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's the most important thing. Nick from Forbes says to tell yourself, my hands are clammy, my heart is beating fast, my mind is racing. This is what I need to do a good job. Now I'd like to tell you guys what I do to cope with my fear. It starts out in the morning. The days of speaking, I eat less of a breakfast. I'm normally a big breakfast guy, but I don't want to be up here worrying about my food coming up on the first row. The next thing I do is I listen to stand-up comedy on the car ride here. It makes me laugh, eases the nerves, gets my mind off the speech for a little bit. And lastly, I choose to go first. I go first, the first speech, the first day, every time. And I do this because my thinking is that there's 4 of you right now that aren't really listening to me. You're kind of worrying about your speech because you got to go in the next 40 minutes. And you're worried about what you're going to say, what your hair looks like, if you're going to mess up or not. Another half of you might be sleeping. It's 9:15, You might be tired, you don't want to be listening to some guy talk about speech anxiety. The rest of you, you're listening to me, but if I mess up, you won't remember, because you've got 4 more speeches to listen to, and it doesn't really matter. In conclusion, almost everyone has a fear of public speaking, some more paralyzing than others. Today we learned why glossophobia happens, what it is and how it affects people, and the different coping methods. As I wrap this up, I'd like to share a powerful quote I found on bradyquote.com, last updated this year. Mark Twain once said, "There are 2 types of speakers, those who get nervous and those who are liars." Thank you.